So you're scheduling your deep work, you're turning up, but often you're finding yourself being distracted in your thoughts and feeling bored and not really getting into those prolonged flow states which will allow you to do your best work. In this video, I'm going to tell you the number one skill you can learn to practice and start implementing today so you can bash out 4 hours of deep work like it's easy. Okay, let's get into the video. The science of boredom and deep work. What is boredom? Let's start with understanding boredom. Boredom is often seen as a negative, uncomfortable state, but actually has some surprising benefits. When we're bored, our brain enters a new state of mind, allowing us to daydream and generate creative ideas. This mental state can lead to increased creativity and problem-solving abilities. It's like giving your brain a chance to reset and recharge. The way I like to look at it is you're just taking a break from the constant stimulation. It's just you and your thoughts. A lot of those thoughts are obviously not your own thoughts. They're, based on what you've just watched, what you've just consumed. But if you spend enough time, you will start to get deeper into your thoughts, and you'll actually have a chance to listen to them and, listen to yourself, your own desires, your own creations. The concept of deep work then and how boredom relates to that. So you probably are familiar with deep work by now. It's the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's when you're in the zone or in flow state, fully immersed in your work. The benefits of deep work are immense. Enhanced productivity, improved quality of work, and faster learning. For entrepreneurs, this looks like choosing your most cognitively demanding tasks and just focusing on that for a period of time without distractions. It's very important, especially if you're working a full-time job, to create that sort of boundary for your deep work. And the whole vehicle for deep work is no distractions. And essentially what boredom does is it trains your brain and yourself to be comfortable without constant stimulation. So if you're better at boredom, better at doing nothing, you're going to be better at focusing on your most productive tasks. So how to embrace boredom for deep work? Creating boredom rituals. So how do we do this to make 4 hours of deep work easy? One effective way is to create boredom rituals. So this is scheduling short, unstructured breaks throughout your day where you literally do nothing. Resist the urge to reach for your phone or other forms of entertainment. Instead, let your mind wander and just observe it. Mindful waiting is another great technique. So use moments like waiting in line or in the queue or commuting to just be present without distractions. And you'll notice these are periods of time where you usually turn to your phone, turn to doing something productive, responding to friends, connecting with people, doing small tasks. But why don't you try and just not do those things? So you'll get the urge, it'll be a habit. You'll just feel this boredom. You'll feel like you should be doing something, you should be progressing. And you almost justify, why am I doing nothing here? I've got a chance to do something. But taking these moments to resist these urges, you will build up being good at being bored. And if you just scatter this throughout the day, this is how you build up that boredom mentality. Digital minimalism is another key aspect. Reducing screen time, minimizing digital distractions can have a huge difference. So you set specific times for checking emails and social media and stick to them. Outside of these times, avoid digital devices, just a good rule. Create a workspace free from unnecessary distractions and turn off the notifications that might interrupt your focus. So if you schedule proactive times, then you're never needing to be reactive. If you don't have these proactive times, you're just having to rely on doing it whenever you feel like it or whenever you get the feeling. But the whole point of practicing being bored is to resist the feeling. So your time of which you do those things is actually driven by intention, not by this feeling of boredom or this other uncomfortable feeling. So mindfulness and meditation. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can also help you embrace being bored. Mindfulness exercises, of course, are deep breathing or simply observing your surroundings. Training your mind to be good at regular meditation helps you build the capacity to tolerate boredom and maintain deep focus. Start with just a few minutes a day and gradually increase the duration. And I think the first step if you are serious about going into meditation or practicing it, the first step is removing the distractions. The first step is being okay with being bored. And then you can then focus your mind on the present moment. But there's no point, I've tried it myself, trying to build up a meditation routine, but then just outside of that time, just allowing distractions to come and go. Every time I have a thought, every time I'm uncomfortable, to pick up my phone. And then it's like the 5 or 10 minutes I have of meditation, it's like that's really not going to offset the amount of distractions and the way I've lived that day. So the first step before you start meditation is to not engage in these distractions, to not react to these urges, but to be bored. And then from then you can then develop this meditation, this mindfulness practice. So applying boredom to achieve specifically 4 hours of deep work. Let's talk about that. So you obviously want to do the same things as you would with any deep work session. Planning it is important. So the first step is to plan your deep work sessions. Schedule a specific block of time dedicated to deep work and protect this time from interruptions. This time should be sacred. And deep work slot means no reactions, no interruptions, no distractions. It's all intentful work. It's all proactive, and it's focused on the focus is as narrow as possible on your project. You want to communicate your boundaries to others and make sure you have everything you need before you start. So there shouldn't be any excuse for you to get out of that focus, whether this isn't making sure you're in the right environment, whether this is making sure you're up early before anyone else is up, but you really want to protect that time free from distractions. Balancing stimulation and boredom, so balancing periods of deep work with activities that provide mental stimulation and relaxation is crucial. And you can alternate between intense work sessions and low intensity activities to prevent burnout, engaging in hobbies, exercise, or social interactions to recharge your mind and body. So at this point it's not all about boredom. It's not all about, yes, we're embracing boredom here, but if you set your whole day up to do nothing and to really embrace boredom, it's actually very challenging. It's very hard. It's going to be very hard to succeed. You're going to feel like a sense of anxiety because you're not keeping up with looking at your phone and checking it. So it's important to schedule doing the things that you need to do, but it's also important to switch off and be okay with relaxing, because you can't be bored the whole time. You can't do nothing the whole time. It's also okay to not be bored at times, and that's good for preventing burnout and making this a long-term habit. So yes, you're going to schedule boredom time slots in your day, but it's not going to be all the time. You're also going to have the relaxation times. You're also going to have the mindfulness times, the deep work times, the times where you do your small tasks. So the key is being intentful, whatever activity you're doing. Being intentful with being bored, with doing nothing. Being intentful with deep work. Being intentful with relaxing, and not these things merging into one and just going how you feel. Practical examples and success stories. So there's a couple of success stories I'm going to share about entrepreneurs and creatives that have actually leveraged boredom to their advantage to unlock their creative and most productive work. For instance, we'll talk about Steve Jobs. He was known to take walks without any distractions, without his phone, to generate his best ideas. And this would just be a time for himself to listen to his own thoughts. Personally, I've found this to be helpful in my own life, incorporating boredom activities into my day. So whether it is just a walk by yourself or whether it is a time without your phone, even just going to the shower without your phone, without music, and just being in the shower, you and your thoughts, and then continuing that time maybe for the next 10 minutes after the shower. Just creating things like this, you're giving yourself the opportunity to actually listen to your thoughts, to build up that skill of being okay, being by yourself and being bored. And that is what is going to help you, really tap into your deep work potential, because it's just going to feel easier. You're practicing saying no to distractions, saying no to temptations away from your deep work. So when you're in your deep work, that's already a skill you've been practicing, and you just need to focus on that productive thing. So you'll find that deep work is actually easier if you do this. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.